Hey, what's up soldiers? My name is GregFPS, the Zombies Extraordinaire, and welcome to episode number 2 of the worst ways to go down and die in Call of Duty Zombies history. I'm going to be reading 5 comments that you guys commented on the last video. If you guys want to be featured in the next video, make sure to comment down below the worst possible way to die in Call of Duty Zombies. This is going to be a weekly series every single weekend at some point, either Saturday or Sunday. I haven't really decided yet, but you guys really seem to enjoy the last episode, so hope you guys enjoy this episode. Now, before we get into it, if you guys want to submit any clips of going down in a horrible way, make sure to send them to me on Twitter at GregFPS. And also, if you guys do end up subscribing, make sure to let me know down below in the comment section to be featured in the beginning of my next video, like all these people on screen. Thank you guys so much for your support lately, and without further ado, let's get right into the top 5 worst ways to die in Call of Duty Zombies, episode number 2. Coming in at the number 5 spot is going to be from Beerbongs and Bentley's, who commented, another bad way to die is when you cook a grenade for too long. So yes, this is definitely a pretty bad situation. Unless you have PhD, then you don't have to worry about explosive damage. But one time that I see myself going down from cooking a grenade too long is usually when I'm doing the Chang's laundry ticket and the beginning of my games on Shadows of Evil, where you can get free 500 points just by getting the laundry ticket by cooking a grenade, throwing it so it explodes right on the ticket, and then you can pick it up off of the wooden crate. Now, this is a really easy Easter egg, but sometimes people decide to cook the grenades a little bit too long, don't really know the exact time or how to measure it. Every time that the explosive icon ticks a little bit, that's 1 out of the 5 seconds. So you just have to count, usually throw it at like 3.5 seconds and you're good, as long as you're standing at like a fairly good distance, and you should be able to get the ticket every time. But this is definitely something that happens a lot. I personally barely ever use grenades anyways, so I can understand your frustration, but just don't use grenades, I guess. Coming in at the number 4 spot is from Platypus7653, who commented, the worst way to die is if you go down whilst drinking a perk or whilst packing a gun. So yes, this is definitely a horrible way to go down. One time that this happens to me fairly often, I would say, would be on Origins, because you have all the different areas that the zombies can come from. You can have the Keeper zombies coming from down below in the bottom of the excavation site. You can have zombies coming from either side as well to get there. So you can get trapped pretty easily while you're pack-a-punching a gun, and obviously if it's like a panzer round, you're pretty much screwed because the panzer is just going to come and wreck your day like right away. So you really need to be careful when you're pack-a-punching there. Also, there's plenty of really bad jug locations that can really mess you up, like on Kino or something like that, and also even on Origins, because it's kind of in like an in-cove area. So if you don't grab it fast enough and zombies are following you, it's really easy to get trapped there. So this is definitely a huge pet peeve, and it's one of the worst absolute ways to go down for sure. So I 100% agree. Thank you for the comment. Coming in at the number 3 spot is from Senior Shatnips, who commented, Death Barrier Greg, official worst way to die. So yes, a lot of people really don't like death barriers. Obviously, there's so many different examples of death barriers that have killed people, and they're pretty hilarious most of the time. But if you're going into like the boss fight, or for example, if you're getting the Skull of Non-Stopway on Zetsubo no Shima, this happened to me for the first time when I was playing Zetsubo no Shima on launch day. I was getting the Skull of Non-Stopway, boom, as soon as I go down the stairs, insta dead. Like, there was so many death barriers on Zetsubo no Shima that really made this the absolute worst launch, I think, ever for a Call of Duty Zombies map. Now, there were some other problems with other maps, but nothing was as bad as Zetsubo no Shima. There have been times on that map where the game just completely ends for no reason, not even connection. There was so many problems going on with that map on launch day. They've since fixed it, and most of those problems are fixed now, but like, there was a point where you couldn't even get to like past round 20 with 4 people. Like, it was that bad. So for the first week, I think the entire map was just death barrier after death barrier. There's been examples like Smart Guy on Gorod Krovi on launch day, or like the day after. He was going down into the boss fight. As soon as he fell into the sewer to go to the boss fight, insta dead, and that was another death barrier. I mean, there have been so many. There's been some on Revelations. I think it might have happened to Noah. lava. So there's just so many different examples of death barriers, and it's one of those things where like you spend so much time in your game, you're doing everything perfectly, and then boom, you're dead just from a horrible glitch going on in the game causing a death barrier. So yeah, that is definitely a really bad way to die, and that comes in at the number 3 spot. Coming in at the number 2 spot is from Fire Medic GJ. Whenever a teammate turns on a trap intentionally to kill you, example, whenever you're playing on Horizon and someone else wants the same bow as you, so just kill you in order to start the quest first. So yeah, that is definitely a pretty bad way to go down. I remember a lot of people doing this. I do play public matches every so often just to, you know, have a good time or just to kill some time, whatever, I'm just bored or something. And it is definitely one of the funniest things when you down someone from turning on a trap. I'm gonna be honest, I've done it a couple times to people have done it to me as well. It is definitely one of the worst ways to go down though, because you just feel like, dang, that guy is an absolute scumbag. And it turns out they wanted like the void bow or something, which is just hilarious. But realistically, on Horizon, most people want the storm bow because it's the easiest to upgrade. It's what everyone knows how to do. So people will turn on like the electric trap right outside of the eagle's nest or church area when people are grabbing their bow and leaving. So one way you can avoid that is just going around the other way through the power room, and you can usually get there first before everyone else. But anyways, that is definitely a horrible way to go down. It happens so many other times. It's not just Horizon Drac. Other people are trying to get like the wonder weapon built first. For example, on like Shadows of Evil, someone wants to build the Apothecon and a build table to turn on the chain trap so you can't get through, and then they can build it and grab it before you can. There's so many different examples on various different maps, especially when it comes to like buildables, and this happens all the time on like Zetsubo. Someone wants the KT4 before you even know you can get it from the box, things like that. It happens all the time. So that, like, the really only solution is just not playing public matches. If you need like gameplay or you just want to play with a specific weapon, just don't play in public matches. Do it solo. That's always the best way. Or play with people who actually know how to play and are actually good, and friends that won't actually intentionally turn on traps, because then again, a lot of people like to be memers and do that as well. And coming in at the number 1 spot is from Fat Squirrel, who commented, "You get double hit or windmilled." Yes, this is by far the absolute worst way to go down in Call of Duty Zombies, in my opinion. And also headless zombies, which I guess aren't really on this list, but they're pretty much the exact same thing. So I play Mob of the Dead so much doing speedruns, and it also happens on Origins as well. I feel like those zombies on those 2 maps are the absolute worst when it comes to getting windmilled and double hit. This happens all this stinking time, especially on Mob of the Dead. You really can't really do much when you're speedrunning because you don't have jug. So a zombie can literally turn the corner as you're like jumping by them, and you'll just go boom and you're dead, you're down. And that is one of the most absolutely frustrating things. You can shoot a zombie like 6 times in the face, and sometimes it will still just double slap you before you can even kill them completely. So this is definitely like one of the biggest pet peeves I personally have when it comes to going down in Call of Duty Zombies. It's the absolute worst. So I would definitely agree with that comment, Fat Squirrel. So once again, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you guys are new. These have been the top 5 worst ways to die and go down in Call of Duty Zombies history. Once again, if you have any more that you would like to be featured in the next episode, make sure to comment them down below, because there are so many different ways that you can go down in zombies. It's literally an endless cesspool of frustration and anger whenever you go down in zombies. Now, I don't really get mad anymore, but I feel like a lot of people do get frustrated, so I can definitely understand that. So thank you once again, everyone that commented and all the people that sent clips on Twitter. Make sure to do that. If you guys have some awesome clips of going down, just send them to me over on Twitter at GregFPS. And yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and make sure to check out the other 2 videos on screen that I posted earlier this weekend. So anyways, guys, I will see you all later. Peace out.